Today on EA Sports. It's week 2 of the NFL on EA Sports.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Chicago Bears and the Miami Dolphins. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. And leading them, Charles, their quarterback, their field general.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team to wins.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
A high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's third down. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes and throw the football in order to have a better chance to win again this week.
Here comes the Bears punter now. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Fielded just inside the 20. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And it'll be Dolphin football. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they will be led out by their 6'6" quarterback.
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some snacks.
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
To throw is Ward on 1st and 10. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone, and there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Second and 10. To throw again. Ward. He's going to try and go deep again. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So a costly penalty yardage-wise as that'll move the football down to the spot of the foul.
And what the officials are looking for in these situations, whether you're playing the man or the ball. And if you're playing the man, you get a lot less leeway in terms of what's going to happen at the end of the play. But if you're looking...
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins on just 2 plays have taken the lead. One after try forthcoming. And that makes it 7-0 Dolphins. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their second drive of the game, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. The numbers for him from a week ago: 19 carries, 59 yards, and a touchdown.
And to me, the goal is the exact same thing as last week. Get him the ball early and often. I think he's got another big game in him in this one.
Now it's Cutler. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Cutler will throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down. Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. That's taken on the 25. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So Miami coming out for their second drive. They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. It means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now.
Here's Ward, throwing on 1st down, going up top. And that is caught, one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. It's a big play there for Miami.
I don't think we'll ever get enough of watching one-handed catches, and when they pay off, they are spectacular. But how about the times they don't pay off, and coaches go, 2 hands. 2 hands still works.
I know, but they go for them so often now that I'm almost starting to take them for granted.
Yeah, that's unbelievable, isn't it? Because these are sensational type plays.
Especially that one with a defender right there. Well, that didn't take long. 1 play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. And he's going to battle his way down right around the 2-yard line. That's a gain of 7, and we'll leave them with 2nd and goal coming up. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on 1st down.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 14-0. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Coming up on 2nd and 7. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. This defense for the Dolphins, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And every defensive team that we talk to, they spend a lot of time talking about creating turnovers. And anytime you get 2 or more in a game, you've had a really good performance. They exceeded that number in a huge way. They got the football back 4 times in the win.
Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
This offense has definitely been slow getting out of the gate. It's almost like they missed their wake-up call for this one. No points on their first 2 possessions, and now it's looking like none on this one either.
And it's fielded at the 34. 35 yards that time on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Miami's offense set and ready to go. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Ward now on 1st down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So pass interference, the call is so tough as a defender, I'd imagine, to time that up perfectly.
It certainly is difficult to get it exactly right because sometimes you're looking at getting there fractions of seconds too early. That one looked a little more obvious. Always a tough penalty to officiate. Just ask the basketball refs when they have to officiate block and charge.
It's a good pickup of 7 yards, and now they're looking at 2nd and goal. And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. It's the fullback. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 21-0. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's Cutler to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
And shedding the tackle, and now some room. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 42 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Hands it off out of the gun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
On 3rd down, Cutler. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th.
There's a lot of discussion in the offseason about him having a big year and getting to the quarterback. They held him without a sack in week 1, but how about here? Finally gets his first one of the season.
In the offseason, said he changed his diet, leaner, feels so good this year. To see what type of a season he can have. That also a career-long kick for the veteran, Charles.
Yeah, how about what he just got done there? We always knew he had a big leg, but how about everything coming together perfectly on that one? Great leg swing, and bang that one through.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Dolphins offense returning to the field. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it could be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
Now Ward on 1st and 10. He'll rifle this one deep right side. A fight for it, and this is caught. What a catch. It's a big play there for Miami. This is a pretty significant moment, a pretty cool moment. He just went over 50,000 career passing yards, and we might as well go ahead and measure for the gold jacket.
Make sure you measure it right, too. Make sure it fits perfectly when he walks out there for that ceremony. 50,000 yards in the NFL. Wow. Longevity, talent, a little bit of luck along the way, and a whole lot of people helping him get it done.
And the Dolphins are going to have a 1st and goal as he's able to take this inside the 10 to the 8.
Well, think of it like you would a typical boxing match. The person is on his heels and absorbing blows is having a tough time. And that's what's happening to the defense right now, because the offense is on his toes and punching. And there's another 1st down run right there.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3. Defensively, they must have been expecting a pass. They were in the dime look out there.
I think maybe they were deciding to go with speed on the field rather than bulk. I'm with you, a little bit surprising. They wanted people getting to the ball as fast as possible. The lighter, shiftier defense.
And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins are able to grow their lead. Just power football there down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come and have to report like they're eligible. But all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on third down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. And he's going to come up a bit short. He needed to get to the 35 for the first, but he only makes it to the 34. Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's only had a couple of carries. I mean, when you've got a horse like this, second quarter, got to start to ride that horse a little more, don't you?
You can't just neglect him. He's got to touch it, and often, in order to get maximum out of him. Typically, these types of backs, it's the accumulation of carries, and that's when you see the damage as the game goes on.
Yeah, let's see. They're going to try to get him into the flow, we would assume here. Looking deep downfield. A fight for it, and this is caught. It's caught indeed. It's a big play there for Miami. Defense blitzed, but they picked it up pretty well.
Allowed their man to stand firm in the pocket and not be hurried, didn't it? That allowed him to make the nice throw downfield to help complete that play.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Dolphins continue to pull away here in this first half. This offensive unit, yeah, they were solid in the opening week victory, and now they are looking just as sharp here in week 2.
And that's exactly what you want, too, because you want to get better each and every week and really ramp up as the season goes on. I know it's still early in the season and a lot can happen, but this offense, they look like they're going to be fun to watch each and every time out.
Point after, right down the middle, and the lead will swell by 1 more. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him in football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. The Bears on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd down and 12. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And they'll get him down here at the 23. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
So possession goes over here on the punt. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And he's found the end zone twice, and now I'm guessing he's thinking, hey, let's find... it 3 times.
And you got to figure from the defensive perspective, how has he gotten there twice? What are we going to do to keep him out for a 3rd time? How do we tighten things down? Because he and his offensive mates, they are really in sync right now.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
You know, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? Where everything is working for them, every move they make works, it clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. It's a big play there for Miami.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Well, that didn't take long. 1 play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. And he'll give it here to his running back. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown here in this 1st half. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control. So they brought the extra bulk in down on the 1-yard line, and they're able to push this one across.
Yeah, I can just see your face right now because I know we're mind melding on this one. Coach Madden would love this. Power football, hat on a hat, chest to chest, driving forward, touchdown.
A try here for the extra point. And the route is on here in this 1st half. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it winds up in 6 points for the Dolphins. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Throwing here, Cutler. This is caught. It's Brown. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
Pretty good looking run there on 1st down. That'll go for 9 yards, just short of the line to gain.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
rush gets home. Down he goes. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up third.
These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front seven defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. 7 yards on the return after a punt of 39. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now.
Check it backer, check it backer.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Pressure comes and down he goes. The safety blitz turns out to be a great call defensively as they sack him for a loss of 9. So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. A leap, and he's got it. He got it. It's a big play there for Miami. But one thing's for sure, they're going to have to come. With something at halftime because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go through the whole litany of things, changing coverages, what are we going to do to put a man on him? The big thing to me is treat it like a good pitcher treats pitching a game. Change your timing, change your location. So sometimes you're up on him, sometimes you're back. Just change up the looks that he sees and make him just a little bit more hesitant.
Set them back 5. Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. Back to throw. Ward. He's going to take another shot here. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great play there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Dolphins just continue to pour it on. Extra point splits the uprights. And the route is on here in this first half. So that drive, 4 plays. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Another drive coming up for this Chicago offense. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. Here comes the Bears punter now as he's on to kick it away. Fielded just inside the 30. There he goes, right side. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A 71-yard punt return. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. The Chicago offense set to get started. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now it's Cutler. And that is incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
2nd and 10. It's Cutler again.
And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Throwing again, it's Cutler. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And the Dolphins have got it. He has been a workhorse for them in this game, and ball security hasn't been an issue until that point.
Yeah, and let's face it, when he's going to carry the ball that many times, he becomes more.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. And a fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 18-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And with a huge lead already, they may be thinking, hey, our job's complete for these first 2 quarters. Let's get this to the locker room. Ward throwing on first down. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And got his man complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A big play there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Dolphins will extend their lead here just before halftime.
That's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it. You totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Extra point right down the middle. And a rout is on here in this first half. So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. And no reason to do anything foolish as they'll snap it one more time on first down. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll begin in the birthplace of rock and roll, Memphis, Tennessee. And it's the Egyptians who have the lead. The Egyptians were losers a week ago, so they are desperately trying to avoid dropping 2 straight to start the year. From there, we're off to check out another game, and they've got the lead in that ball game over the visiting 49ers. The Saints, losers last week, they need to pull one back at home to avoid falling to 0-2. Finally, let's get to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And you can see they trail the visiting Cowboys. The Cowboys needing to hold on and win this one on the road to avoid falling to 0-2. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team. Brandon Godden.
The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. Taking it about the 1. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
Had a bit of a lane there, took advantage of it. Give them 7 there on the first down carry.
But no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Working with a 2nd and 3. They run the counter. Turner. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
You certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They run the counter now on first down. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. A handoff as they run the counter play. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Now a handoff here to his running back, and he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. And to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to take this down close to a 1st down at about the Bears' 33. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
On 3rd down, Turner. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. 40 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
9-yard line, 2nd and 6. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up 1st downs.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
Well, they made the play there, and I'll guarantee you their coaches and the other players are screaming at them about their pride. Come on, guys. He's already gotten in 3 times. You can't give up a 4th one. And on that play, they were able to make the stop.
And you knew they were going to go to him to try to get that 4th.
And why wouldn't they? It's not just getting the 4th. He's the hot hand, so to speak, right? The hot feet in this situation. And he knows how to find the end zone. That time, he just didn't get there.
And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play act.
Then he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. It's the fullback with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Dolphins take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Point
after, right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who could make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably... need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Throwing now, Cutler on first down. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second. He is proving his worth defensively. Getting the sack here, that comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week, continuing to play at that level. And when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys are hard to stop.
Oh, and that'll be incomplete. He took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down. But the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up fourth down.
Boy, that was certainly well-read defensively. And the key to any screenplay is space to work. And there was none to be found there. And they tackle it for just a short gain.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. It's taken to the 26. So a change of possession here on the punt. The Dolphins offense now heads back. On the field. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just given him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap.
Launches deep. A jump ball, and this is caught. It's a big play there for Miami. Typically with catches like that, we talk about the height of the wide receiver, but he's one of the shorter receivers in the NFL.
And it doesn't seem to matter, does it? Put the tape measure away. How about some of these guys under 6 feet tall? Antonio Brown, T.Y. Hilton, and Super Bowl 53 MVP, Julian Edelman.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown.
12-yard touchdown run. And the Dolphins just continue to pour it on. I tell you what, Charles, I know that you don't put a ton of stock into power rankings and things of that nature, but another score here, and 2 weeks into the season, this is maybe the most impressive team in the NFL. Would you agree?
Well, they've certainly sold me as they've sold you, and I agree with you, no question about it. They won easily last week. They're on their way to another lopsided victory here. They're definitely a team to be reckoned with, and they are serving notice to the rest of the league.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. The Bears now ready to take over again. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. On second down now, McKnight. And once again, the Dolphin defense holds firm as they'll stop him behind the line of scrimmage. A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. Third down and 9. Now Cutler looking to throw. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a fourth down. Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. A 41-yard punt, 9 on the return. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
He's going to sling this deep downfield. And this is taken in at the 5. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. It's a big play there for Miami.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
It'll be first and goal when we come back. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a first and goal situation. They'll try to run this one in. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Only a yard on the pickup there. Second and goal.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big...
And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there. Taking it in. And the Dolphins are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this fourth quarter lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
On 1st and 10, it's Cutler. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And down inside the red zone at the 19-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. And he'll give it here to his running back. And a good gain here of 9 from the 19 down to the 10.
I know you're trying to wring every yard out of a run, but I think 9 yards there is ideal in this situation.
Yeah, now next couple plays, you only need 1 yard. Keep that clock rolling with a lead here in the fourth.
Yeah, what you're saying is maybe if it takes you 1 or 2 more runs to get the first down, that's extra time, extra plays, really hurts the team on defense.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. They run the counter. Turner. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. They got the ball in great field position after the fumble, but this defense trying to stand tall.
They certainly are, and a lot of times after you pick up a fumble or get an interception, you have momentum on your side. You kind of walk through a defense and score. Not so fast, not in this case.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop them.
And they'll run again. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Dolphins are on their way to a 2-0 start. Extra point right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Cutler. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Now Cutler on 1st down. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete.
A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down.
And they've used him in the passing game to great effect so far. And here they get it to him again on the screen, and it turns into a nice positive play.
Cutler to throw again. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get it down to the 47 here.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. On first down, it's Cutler. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's second down.
To throw again is Cutler. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he gets them a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
Every team we ever talk to that continues to run the ball in a game, even when they haven't had much success, all talks about attrition, don't they? If you keep running it, eventually good things are likely to happen. It's been a hard go in this game today, hasn't it?
Yeah, this defense, they met pretty much every challenge in front of them this afternoon.
They're still trying to run the ball, but they're not finding much space.
And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and goal. To throw, Cutler. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. And that sack brings up 4th and goal, a loss of 7. Big play.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And this one is right through. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. They were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Over the middle, complete. It's Tyler. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he is a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
To throw is Ward. On third down. He finds his man complete. That's Schmidt. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just got to give us that look like that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I'd want him out. They tend to leave him in.
55 rushing yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Well, they were looking to pick up the first down on 3rd and short. They got a little more than they bargained for, finding the end zone as well.
And oftentimes in short yardage situations, you get a lot of defenders stacked near the line of scrimmage, partner. So if you can get past that first wave, there's usually room to roam, and he found it.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. A big offensive explosion help leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Miami, they used a favorable early schedule to their advantage as they move to 2-0. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Denver Broncos next week. Meanwhile, for the Bears, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll be back home next week for a date with the New York Jets. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.